All right, well, even though it may feel like winter this week, the calendar says that we are actually in spring.
Thinking back to those ice and freezing temperatures, though, do you know why that salt on the road melts ice? Our Candace Monticelli joins us live to explain more. Hey there.
Hey, good morning. So let's think back to that snow and ice, or even just look out the window this morning. But remember how the road commission crew was always out putting those salt mixtures on the roads to help our travels. Well, that salt is melting the ice. And today we're going to learn why by lowering the freezing point. So here's everything you need for today's experiment. First, containers with frozen water, salt, food coloring, which is optional, and cookie sheets that have a lip on them, a side on them. So first you want to freeze some water overnight. I just put these in Tupperware containers to make some larger ice cubes. And then take some salt. I just have table salt here. You can use rock salt, anything you want. And just put this in little sections over the ice. Then you just have to sit and wait. This is where it's good to do it at home because this is going to start making some small hollow stalactites, some hollow craters in this block of ice. That's where the food coloring comes into play. If you want, you can add the food coloring in these holes and see exactly where it falls down. Cookie sheet just keeps everything mess free for the most part. But this is when this freezing point is getting lowered. So we're lowering that freezing point. That salt is lowering the freezing point and causing freezing point depression. So when we sprinkle that salt on top, that is allowing that ice then to freeze, and it increases the ice's ability to freeze at a lower level, a lower temperature. We all know ice freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Right. So when we put the salt on that, it forces that ice to melt and it doesn't allow it to freeze or refreeze. So that salt, once it's added, it's not allowing the ice to freeze until about 15 degrees or so. So that's what we're doing. We're lowering the freezing point. So instead of 32 degrees, we're dropping that to around 15 degrees. So what's happening is that salt, it's dissolving in the water on the layer, the top layer of the ice. That's creating a brine, a salty water mixture. And that is what's helping the water molecules to break apart. It's making it harder for those water molecules to come together and freeze. So that's why then it takes 15 degrees instead of 32 for this to melt. And this is exactly why the road commission crew uses those salt mixtures on the roads to help lower that freezing point and melt the ice. So pretty cool way to try this at home and even use the food coloring and have some fun to see where it goes in the ice. So please send me your pictures on Facebook. We'll share those with our future meteorologists. And there's full step-by-step instructions on fox17online.com.